You are looking at Intera Gym in Goshen, Indiana, where tonight Elkhart County's oldest rivalry renews as the Elkhart Lions come a-calling on the Goshen Redhawks on this edition of the 46th Game of the Week. And how you doing, everybody? With the Hall of Famer Bo Hutt, it's Chuck Freeby. Craig Heatherly is courtside. He'll join us in a moment. The Elkhart Lions have had a rough start, and that is an understatement. They are 0-4 coming in here, having played all four on the road, two of them against ranked teams. And Bo, Kyle Sears somehow remains optimistic through it all.
Well, I think the biggest thing is he's been through teams like this before where they've had a little bit of a rough start. And you talk about that schedule. They've had a brutal schedule, haven't played a home game. And he's the type of coach that, you know, he's going to get the kids going, get them motivated, and get them where they need to be come January.
Meanwhile, the Goshen Redhawks come in here with a record of 2-1. Michael Wolford has the benefit of a veteran group that has played a lot of games together. May not have that one shining star offensively, but everybody seems to know their role on this team.
Well, I think that's the biggest thing. You talk about chemistry and role. This team knows it. They know what they need to do. They don't need one player to step up because they have multiple guys that are going to be able to step up, and they're going to pass the ball around, get the best shot, and take it.
Craig Heatherly joins us courtside. And Craig, I get the feeling watching these two teams tonight, a quick start might be imperative for both of them.
Yeah, I think both teams would love to get off to a fast start as long as they take care of the basketball. Elkhart enters the game turning the ball over north of 20 times per game. Goshen, one of the top defensive teams in the area. So if both teams can take care of the basketball, it's going to be a recipe for a nice game.
You know, there was a split of schools in Elkhart for about 50 years, and this is still the 140th meeting between Elkhart High School and Goshen High School. We can't wait for you to enjoy this one. We've got the St. Joe County Police Department pregame show and the Jordan Automotive Keys to Win, and we'll bring it to you next on the 46th Game of the Week.
This is the WHME TV 46 High School Basketball Game of the Week. Brought to you by Bill's Heating, Health Markets, Tony Letcher, St. Joseph County Police Department, Martin's Supermarkets, Intera Credit Union, HealthLink, Jordan Automotive Group, TCU, Electrical Workers, Crown Trophy, St. Andrews Products, Imagineering Finishing Technologies, and the IHSAA.
And this edition of the TV 46 High School Basketball Game of the Week is being brought to you in part by the Jordan Auto Group. Simple, easy, stress-free. Welcome everybody inside Intera Gym as we get you ready for the Elkhart Lions and the Goshen Redhawks in this county rivalry. Time now to look at our keys to win on the St. Joe County Police Department pregame show. Those keys brought to you by the Jordan Automotive Group. For the Elkhart Lions, they really want to get the ball inside. And the most prolific of their twin towers is Marion Dye, the 6'3 sophomore, averaging just under 10 points a game, but he also gets 7 rebounds a game. He's had 3 games in double figures this year. And he'll need some help on the outside from their prolific three-point shooter, Jacob Windy. 5'11 senior, only averaging 7.5 points per game because when those big guys get in foul trouble, it's easier to cover him up on the outside. He's hoping they can stick around and he can have the kind of performance he had against Northridge when he racked up 10 points and 7 rebounds. The keys to win for Kyle Sears and the Lions.
Well, the keys to win tonight for the Lions, they need to defend inside and out. They need to make sure they take care of the inside, get out on that three-point shot. They simply need to make some shots. They haven't made a lot of shots in their first 4 games. They need to knock some down. They need to play discipline as well. They need to understand the offense, get the flow going, and understand how that works. Kyle Sears had a chance to talk with Chuck before the game.
Well, that's all we've been is on the road. So, you know, this is our 5th road game, and when we got off to a good start at Northridge, that helped us. We got off to a decent start at Washington. So getting off to that good start is going to be key, and staying out of foul trouble is going to be even bigger for us. So, and if we can do those 2 things, it's going to help us a lot.
Goshen is really a team that wins games with defense, and their best defensive player happens to be Quinn Bechtel, a 6-foot senior guard, averages over 8 points a game, 4 rebounds a game, but he's the guy that typically takes away the other team's top player. He'll try to guard Jacob Windy tonight. And then they have Deacon Hill, who can supply some offense as well. The 6'4 senior was an All-Northern Lakes Conference player a couple of years ago. down to 8 points a game, but Michael Wolford told me yesterday at practice he's really playing his best overall game right now. The keys to win for Michael Wolford and the Red Hawks.
Keys to win tonight for the Red Hawks. Plain and simple, first one, take care of the basketball. They feel that's very important in this game. And box out. They feel they have a definite size advantage. They need to box out, not allow second chance points, and no layups allowed. They don't want Elkhart driving to the lane, so they cannot allow that. Coach Mike Wolford in his 7th year here at Goshen.
We've learned that we have quite a bit of depth. We knew going into the year we had a lot of older guys with experience, 6 guys coming back with some starting experience in past years, and so we were hoping we could get contributions up and down the roster, and so far through 3 games, so good.
No better place to be on a cool December night than a warm Indiana gym. Elkhart and Goshen getting ready to tip it off. Those have been our Jordan Automotive Keys to Win in our St. Joe County Police Department pregame show. The tip-off is next on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week brought to you in part by Intera Credit Union. Excellence, integrity, and invested. We're getting ready for the starting lineups here in Intera Gym. Here's Bo Hunt.
Starting lineups tonight. First for the Elkhart Lions, the visiting team on the scoreboard, sponsored by Sanders and Pianowski. You get the 5'11" senior Jacob Windy. The other guard, Tyson Rogers, another senior, 5'9". You're looking at Braden Becker, 5'11" junior. To Marion Morris, a 6'1" junior, and Marion Dye, the 6'3" senior for the Elkhart Lions.
And now the air raid siren going off, and the crowd coming to its feet here in Intera Gym as they get ready for the Goshen starters. Brought to you by Quality Drive Away.
Starters tonight for your Goshen Red Hawks, coached by Michael Wolford. You're looking at Noah Alford, the 5'9" senior. Deacon Hill, another senior, 6'4". A lot of seniors on this lineup. Quinn Bechtel, the guy we'll be looking at to lead this team, 6' senior. Gage Worthman, a 6'3" junior. And the big man inside, the offensive tackle, playing center tonight, Ryan Eldridge, the 6'7" junior.
So those are the starters for both teams. As you see them come off from the Goshen bench. The series history between these two teams goes all the way back to 1911. This is the 140th meeting on the hardwood between a single Elkhart High School and Goshen. Last year, the Red Hawks won it at Northside Gym by a count of 51-43, just a scant 364 days ago. The officials for this one, first time we've seen this crew work. It's Adam Kane working with Cole Krebs and Chad Nicodemus. Of course, the IHSAA always looking for more officials. And so if you would like to join really in any sport, doesn't have to be basketball, make sure you contact a local member of the St. Joe Valley Officials Association. Jimmy Arnett would love to hear from you.
As you see both teams take the floor, here's a check on the uniforms tonight, brought to you by St. Andrews Products. The home team, the Goshen Red Hawks, wearing the white jersey and shorts, red numbers and black trim. The visiting team, the Elkhart Lions, wearing the blue jersey and shorts, gold trims and numbers. And your opening tip tonight, sponsored by Side 574 Technologies.
So it'll be Marion Dye jumping against Ryan Eldridge. And Elkhart wins the tip, and Tamari Morris right off the jump lays it in for the first basket of the game. It couldn't have started any better for the Lions. Goshen comes in 2-1. They beat Bremen last Saturday to get above 500. Quinn Bechtel with the basketball against the 1-3-1 zone of Elkhart. Noah Alford outside. Gage Worthman to the big fella Eldridge. That's a little bit of the inside-out game that concerns Kyle Sears. Bechtel blocked at the hoop by Marion Dye, and here come the Lions on the run. Rodney Gates, you know him well from football, the All-NIC wide receiver. And now it's Braden Becker who gets in the starting lineup tonight. Elkhart 0-4 on the year. They go down low to Tamari Morris. Couldn't hit the first one. Marion Dye on the rebound is fouled and will go to the line for two. The free throw sponsored by the Bristol Street Cafe.
Yeah, Elkhart starting out exactly how they want to. They want to get up the floor. They want to move the ball a little bit, get up and run just a little bit, and get the ball inside. They've done a great job of getting it inside, have a chance to go up by 3.
And the first free throw by Marion Dye is up and good. He's a 54% free throw shooter on the year, 6'3" sophomore, averaging 9.5 points per game. Elkhart as a team at the free throw line only shooting 51%, and they live up to that there, but Tamari Morris with the rebound. Dye put it on the floor and was fouled on the floor. And the first quarter being brought to us by our friends at 4T Door Systems as they call the foul on Deacon Hill, and that'll be his first. So Hill and Eldridge with early fouls for the Redhawks. Morris and Dye, the two twin towers for Elkhart, if you can call them towers at 6'3". Rodney Gates way off the mark for a 3, and the rebound to Eldridge.
Kind of an ill-advised shot there by Gates. One of the things they've been working on is really moving that ball to get it inside. Just kind of forced it just a little bit.
Eldridge goes cross court to Worthman for 3, ring it up. Gage Worthman, they want to get him untrapped. He's now 4 for 17 from three-point range this year, but the Redhawks tie it up at 3. Windy in trouble, got caught in the trap, couldn't get out. Now he finds Morris for 2. Tamari with 4 quick ones tonight, and the Lions back out in front. Down low to Hill. Becker got in there to muck it up. And the battle for the loose ball on the alternating possession, it will go to Goshen.
One of the things you can say about Elkhart is they're definitely out there understanding that they've got an 0-4 start, but they're really hustling. They're really showing the aggression out there that they really want to get better and really want to win this game.
Bechtel to Noah Alford, good 3-sport athlete. Again, Elkhart in this 1-3-1 zone. Bechtel cross court to Alford. Now Worthman topside triple, that's off the mark. Hill gets the loose ball. He's thwarted. Now it's Eldridge. He's blocked but fouled.
Eldridge with the big body inside. You gotta be able to put a body up against him. Here you'll see it on the instant replay sponsored by the R&B Car Company. Just a great job of getting inside, getting position. You got to get a body on him, got to block him out.
First foul on Marion Dye. Ryan Eldridge just 2 of 2 at the line this season. And clanks the first. Goshen as a team has been an 80% free throw shooting team. Eldridge coming back after a broken foot that he suffered in football, as you look at Michael Wolford on the Red Hawk sideline. And he rattled home the second.
Second free throw there, sponsored by Crystal Valley Comfort.
Elkhart up 1. Braden Becker breaks the press. Jacob Windy open for 3. Dials it in. He is hitting his 8th three-pointer of the season. And Windy has Elkhart doubling up Goshen early. Michael Wolford warned his team about that yesterday in practice. You cannot let him have room. He's very comfortable sniping from the outside. Bechtel with the mid-range is off, and Dye with another rebound for Elkhart.
That's what he talked about, moving that ball around, finding the open man like they did last time, and found Windy out there open for the 3.
Morris missed the first one and then was fouled on the rebound. You'll get another look here from R&B Car Company at the active Tamari Morris on the offensive glass. Choice of people to call the foul on. They gave it to Worthman. That's his first.
Third team foul on Goshen. Goshen has a lot of depth, so they're not really concerned a whole lot about their foul situations. They do have depth that can come off the bench.
Nate Pinarski and Leighton Weddle check in for the Redhawks. Marion Dye dribbles outside, but that's not his game. Gates to Windy. Goshen students applauding the defensive effort of their teammates. Dye going to work on Weddle, travel. First turnover of the game.
Well, you called it just a little earlier than that. He needs to get down there in the post a little bit, give that ball up, let somebody else handle that ball a little bit.
Marian's good for one dribble on a post move. Anything much more than that, that's inviting that kind of situation. Goshen hasn't hit a two-pointer yet. They do have the three from Worthman. Nate Penarski finds Quinn Bechtel, who weaves his way in. Oh, they've got Weddle down on the block, and the big lefty banks it home. Leighton Weddle, a 6'7" senior, averaging 4 points a game. Brings Goshen back within 2.
Nice little lefty move on that. Nice soft touch off the glass by Weddle.
Lob down low from Morris. He backs in Bechtel and couldn't get the bucket, but he did get the bump, and they'll go to the line for 2. Sponsored by the Bristol Street Cafe. You get another look from R&B Car Company.
Bixie, just a great job of getting in there, going up strong, drawing the foul. 4th team foul now on Goshen here early in the first period.
Tamari Morris, only a 45% free throw shooter on the year, but he nestled that one home.
Goshen, Elkhart's free throw, sponsored by the Bristol Street Cafe. Thing with their free throws, they're shooting over 50% for their free throws, which is a lot higher than their field goal percentage at this point. So getting that line, only shooting 50%, at least they're gonna, score some points.
Went 1 of 2 on that trip at the stripe. Morris now with 5 points to lead all scorers. Lions by 3. Weddle down low. Wendy got a hand on the pass to disrupt it. Alford for 3. Too strong, and the rebound pinballs out to Penarski. Worthman thought about it. Bechtel, great pass. Beautiful tic-tac-toe, and they draw the second foul on Marian Dye.
What a great job of really working that ball against that zone defense, and that's how you break that defense. You either break dribble drive or by the pass. See a great job there by the RB Car Company, passing it down to the low post and then getting it to Weddle inside.
67% free throw shooter, taking free throws sponsored by Crystal Valley Comfort. As you see, Deacon Hill check back in for the Redhawks. Trayvon Brown comes into the game for the first time for Elkhart. Take the place of Marian Dye, who sits down with 2 fouls.
For the finest in casual dining, look no further than the Bristol Street Cafe, located at 500 West Bristol Street in Elkhart, serving outstanding hearty breakfast and daily lunch specials until 2 p.m. The Bristol Street Cafe is a proud sponsor of Elkhart High School athletics.
Lions trying to build on a 2-point lead. Morris. Becker goes down low to Morris, but he couldn't handle the pass. Another turnover for Elkhart. Bechtel comes the other way. We're tied. Quinn Bechtel, averaging over 8 points a game, gets his first basket of the contest. We're knotted at 9 with 2 minutes left in the first. And Bechtel just took it away from Becker, but we've got an offensive foul called at the other end. Goshen probably wishes the foul hadn't been called. They would have had a breakaway. Instead, Tamari Morris is called for his first, and this has been a persistent theme for Elkhart. The bigs getting in foul trouble, creating problems.
Yeah, bigs already Dye with 2, Morris with 1. That's one of the things they cannot have happen because they do not go very deep on their bench with their bigs.
Well, in fact, Kyle Sears has called up a freshman, Mickey Gilbert, number 25, out there on the floor right now for Elkhart. Goshen working the ball around quickly. Penarski outside Worthman for 3, ring it up. He is finding his stroke, as Michael Wolford told me he would yesterday at practice. And Goshen grabs its first lead.
What a nice quick release that was by Worthman.
Gates down low to Morris. He's steadying himself, and Weddle said no, sir. Goshen comes the other way. He's feeling it. Worthman is sniping from the outside. He hit this one from US 33. And Goshen leads at 15-9 in the first on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you by Bill's Heating, keeping families and businesses comfortable since 1951. No heating needed for Gage Worthman. The furnace is blasting.
Yeah, and he's feeling it too. You can see the confidence level. When you get on that feeling, you feel so confident. You think everything's going to be, you're going to knock down anything, and Worthman's at that point at this point in the game.
This is a Goshen team that shoots it well from three anyway, 36%. Now Mickey Gilbert in trouble, and Gates bailed him out. Here's Wendy, gets a screen from Gilbert. Morris goes in strong for two. Tamari has 7. Elkhart hanging around, and they've done a better job of taking care of the basketball for the most part tonight. Now seeing if they can force Goshen into its first turnover of the game. Deacon Hill for 3. That's a little too strong, and Morris gets another rebound. Tamari finds the cutting Wendy. Gilbert for 3. Why not? The freshman with his first three-pointer of his varsity career. Worthman, way off line as the quarter comes to an end. But what an entertaining first quarter here at Intera Gym. Goshen and Elkhart going up and down the floor. The Big Red took the floor looking for Gage Worthman, and he delivered with 9 in the stanza. But Elkhart's Tamari Morris answered with 7, and Jake Wendy added a 3. It's a 1-point Goshen lead after 1 on 46. And this edition of the TV 46 High School Basketball Game of the Week being brought to you by the St. Joseph County Police Department. Join the team and help protect and serve our community. A guy who serves us as a sideline reporter, Craig Heatherly, your thoughts on that first quarter?
Yeah, offensively, what Elkhart's doing is they're really getting the ball inside. You can see they're attacking the paint, getting some easy baskets around the rim. On the other side of the ball, though, on the other side of the floor, Goshen's having success getting the ball to the corner and the short corners to stretch the defense. And when that ball gets moving side to side, you can see it. They're getting wide open shots.
Elkhart with 3 turnovers in that first half. Goshen had 1, first quarter, I should say. And Elkhart begins the second quarter with the basketball and turns it over. Here's Quinn Bechtel all the way for the 2.
Well, that was when they were both tied 9-9 when Worthman hit his last 2 threes. Both of them came off of turnovers. And again, right there, Bechtel, huge turnover, caused big layup, extend that lead.
Gilbert, only a freshman, was playing JV until last Friday. Kyle Sears said, I have to have his ball handling ability out there. Tamari Morris, big man trying to go to work on Worthman. Trayvon Brown back down low to Morris, and he lost it out of bounds. Back-to-back turnovers by the Lions.
At Sanders and Pianowski, professional service to their clients is their first and compelling priority. The firm of Sanders and Pianowski want to take time and wish both teams well in tonight's game. Serving the Elkhart community for decades and decades yet to come, Sanders and Pianowski on the Riverwalk in downtown Elkhart.
Meanwhile, turnover for Goshen. Morris gives it off for Gilbert, but he has it stripped away. Here comes Goshen, Deacon Hill, Bechtel, and he threw it away. Both teams a little sloppy in the first minute and plus of the second quarter. Gilbert comes down the lane for 2. Mickey so fine, he's got 5.
Mickey, nice job coming in, giving a little bit of spurt for those Lions.
Here's Bechtel. Looks like Elkhart's gone to more of a 2-3 zone where they can do some trapping out of it. But Gilbert overcommitted. That left Alford open at the elbow. He couldn't hit. Becker the rebound. Windy guarded by Bechtel. Windy has to give it up to Morris. He'll try to back down Worthman, and he draws the foul on Worthman. So Gage Worthman with his second foul, and it'll send Elkhart to the free throw line for a free throw sponsored by the Bristol Street Cafe. You get another look from R&B Car Company.
Yeah, great job. I think the big thing with Morris is he's been really able to use his body inside and use it well and drawing a lot of fouls. I think that's huge for them to do that.
Timeout called by Goshen. We've got 5:54 to go first half. Redhawks lead Elkhart by a point on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you in part by Imagineering Finishing Technologies, IFT, where quality is a way of life.
Big 574 Technologies. Finally, an IT company that not only provides stellar technical support, but also partners with clients and help them use technology to move forward. Learn more at 574it.com. That's 574IT.
So Goshen with a 17-16 lead, 5:54 to go in the first half. We mentioned the Redhawks 2-1. They beat Fairfield 50-41 in their opener. Lost to Marion by 14, and then came back and beat Bremen on Saturday night, 60-28. Meanwhile, Elkhart 0-4. Their closest game was the season opener where they lost by 8 to Northridge. How about that weekend for Northridge last weekend? You saw them beat Culver Academy on 46. They turned around the next night, went on the road and beat Valparaiso.
That's just a great team effort that they had back-to-back nights, and not only just offensively, but their defense is what really steps up.
Tamari Morris with 8 points tonight to lead the Lions. Morris, a member of Robinson St. Louis's football team. 1 of 2 at the stripe, as Elkhart has been on every trip tonight. Knotted at 17. Gilbert really trying to extend that 2-3 zone for Elkhart. Hill stepped into the shot, but couldn't get it to go. Eldridge had perfect position for the offensive rebound.
Yeah, that's how you talk about getting position. Just a great job of understanding where that ball's going to come out on that zone and getting in position.
Windy. Gilbert won in a little weave here. Windy had a step on Bechtel, but threw it over his head wildly. Goshen comes the other way. It's Hill again. This time it goes. Deacon Hill with his first three-pointer of the night. He came in shooting 33% from beyond the arc. Redhawks with their biggest lead. Becker is shut down, but he's fouled.
Not sure.
And watch Deacon Hill on this shot, Bo, and he really stepped into it beautifully.
Yeah, his last two, his rhythm wasn't off, or his rhythm was off. That one, his rhythm was not off. He stepped into it great, good rhythm, a little bit more arc on the ball that time too.
Braden Becker is a 50% free throw shooter. The free throw sponsored by the Bristol Street Cafe.
Eldridge picking up his second foul tonight.
Becker, a member of the baseball team where he plays for Scott Rost and the Lions. And 1 of 2 at the line, just as Elkhart, they're consistent at that 50% mark.
Talked about it all night. Those percentages are pretty accurate.
Here's Alford for 3. That's off, but a weak side rebound for Deacon Hill. That's off the mark. How about Eldridge bucket in the bucket? Goshen owning the glass over the smaller Lions.
Yeah, we talked about keys to win and boxing out, and that's what Elkhart needs to do. They need to find a body. They cannot allow second and third chance points.
And watch again on the R&B Car Company replay. Eldridge had Rodney Gates on his back and then draws the third foul, or the second foul on Tamari Morris. And let's see if that is the spark for Goshen. They're already up 7. Elkhart's going to leave Morris in there. Try to keep one of their bigs in the game. Remember, Dye went to the bench with foul trouble in the first quarter. Becker, a runner that's blocked by Hill. But here's Morris off the glass, no good. And Goshen comes the other way. Hill had it knocked away by Gilbert, but off Mickey's foot and out of bounds.
Quality Drive Away has been serving your transportation needs since 1987. Now hiring CDL and non-CDL drivers. Visit qualitydriveaway.com.
Michael Wolford talking to Quinn Bechtel as he comes over to the bench. Meanwhile, Goshen working the ball around. Aiden Ebright-Zaire in the game right now. Zaire wearing a knee brace on his left knee that he injured in practice yesterday. Hill misses on the three, but Eldridge the rebound. Hill misses again, and Rodney Gates gets a rebound for Elkhart.
And Hill fouls after you make a play or miss a layup like that, and you stay up there, you usually make that kind of a silly foul.
Foul of frustration that time. They're actually going to call it on Aiden Ebright-Zaire, but that is the 7th team foul on Goshen, so it sends Elkhart to the line. Rodney Gates, a 67% free throw shooter, takes free throws sponsored by the Bristol Street Cafe. Nate Pinarski checks in.
Join Goshen Home Medical's open house happening December 7th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Food, refreshments, and fun. That's the Goshen Home Medical.
Gates, a 4-year varsity starter, started his career playing for Kyle Sears at Elkhart Memorial. As you look at Kyle, the former Bringle Award winner back in 2002. He's had a couple of sectional titles as coach at Memorial and Elkhart. Gates hits them both. He might not be allowed to ride the team bus on the way home.
He's raising that free throw percentage too high.
Elkhart hanging around. They're only down 5. Eldridge from the foul line. Offline, and the rebound to Elkhart. That's the one thing. If you get Eldridge to go outside, there aren't a lot of big bodies around the hoop. Becker had no one to throw it to, but he was lucky to throw it off a Red Hawk.
Yeah, he's coming down the lane, turned to pass. There's nobody there, but he was right. Luckily, threw it and got a fingertip on it. I think Eldridge is one who got the fingertip on it.
Trayvon Brown checks in for Marion Dye. They're trying to protect Dye from getting into further foul trouble. Becker handles up top. Gilbert now to Gates. Just inside the 3. Rodney Gates buries the shot. And Elkhart creeps back within 3.
When they're not turning the ball over, everything flows really well.
Weddle tried to lob it. Gates got a hand on it. Good defensive set by the Lions. Here's Windy coming into the land of the Giants. Gilbert for 3 in the tie. It's off, and Weddle boxed out well for the rebound. Ebright-Zaire across the top to Pinarski. There's big Leighton Weddle. He goes crashing through the lane, couldn't hit, but Eldridge is there to collect the offensive carom again.
Again, just position by Eldridge, getting in there, getting in that lane, just kind of camping out a little bit. Shooting free throws, back to the line, sponsored by Crystal Valley Comfort.
You got the look on the R&B Car Company replay. Eldridge had a season-high 10 against Bremen on Saturday night. He's halfway there this evening with 5 as Bechtel and Alford come back in for the Red Hawks.
Imagineering Finishing Technologies brand is globally known as the knowledge source for metal finishing. Like the teams in this game, Imagineering is always working toward a great finish. IFTA is a proud supporter of all student athletes.
Eldridge will come out. Gage Worthman comes back in. 2:26 to go first half. Gilbert leaves it off for Becker against the switching man-to-man of Goshen. Hill guarding Gates, and a moving screen called on Mickey Gilbert. Just never did set the feet.
Freshman learning his understanding what he needs to do out there, what he can get away with. And you'll see mistakes like that. And again, a young team, a kind of an inexperienced team, looking to build on stuff.
Get the feeling, though, this is a big 2-minute sequence for Elkhart. Try to keep them in the game. Or Goshen can really put them on their heels with a spurt late in the first half. Alford got around his man but couldn't hit, and then Weddle pushed off. Goshen has shot very poorly from two-point range tonight. The threes are really what's made hay for them.
Yeah, anything in the free throw line where they're catching the ball and trying to get those short jumpers, they have not hit those whatsoever. But yeah, the few threes that they hit, 1, 2, 3, 4 threes that they've hit really is what kept them in this lead.
Rodney Gates back at the foul line, sponsored by the Bristol Street Cafe. Gates with a good-looking shot. He was a state finalist in track, all-NIC wide receiver. Takes a deep breath as he stands there at the line and nails them both. He's got 6. One possession game. Bechtel to Weddle. Weddle goes spinning over Gates, but he traveled.
Good call. Yeah, I think that was a great call. I mean, he took just that little bit of extra. He spun around. I don't think he expected Gates to be there right in his face on that play.
To a certain extent, kind of get the feeling that Elkhart kind of baited Weddle a little bit right there. Let him catch the ball up high and see if you can make a move. Becker short on the 3. Bechtel comes away with a carom. See what kind of adjustments Goshen can make here. They go to Weddle at the elbow. He'll try the mid-range and hit. Instead of trying to go all the way to the basket that time, the lefty relied on his shot.
Nice little soft touch by the lefty.
Comes across that from his grandpa, Pete, who played at Clemson. Gates misses. The rebound to Trayvon Brown. He's fouled on the floor, and Elkhart can make a living at the foul line here in the first half. It's sponsored by the Bristol Street Cafe. You get another look at the contact from R&B Car Company.
Yeah, just over 50% from the line, but if they would be close to that 75 percentile mark, they'd probably be leading this game at this point.
Trayvon Brown's first trip to the free throw line this season. And he cashes it in. Trayvon, a member of the football team, 3.0 GPA. As you look at Michael Wolford over there on the sidelines. He's been here at Goshen 15 years, 7 as the head coach. He was a longtime assistant to Brian Bechtel. 1 of 2 at the stripe for Brown. 4-point Goshen lead. Let's see how they manage the clock here in the final 50. Been an entertaining game here at Intera Gym tonight. Leighton Weddle will do that mid-range again, but he can't pop it home. Gets another chance from the foul line. That's good. Weddle with 7. Goshen lead back up to 6. Can Elkhart make something happen in this possession? You see the clock, right-hand corner of the Intera Credit Union scoreboard. Brown. Here's Gilbert. Under 5. Gilbert, fadeaway 3 off. And that's the way the first half will come to an end. Here at Intera Gym in Goshen, 31-25 Redhawks. And as the teams go to the locker room, Craig Heatherly has Michael Wolford for a Bills Heating sideline report.
Coach, early on it was threes. Later on in the first half, it was the offensive glass that got you some points on the board. What are your thoughts on the half?
Well, they're in a zone and it's pretty spread out, so we're trying to get guys in there that can offensive rebound. It's hard to block out in some of those positions, so we went big with our 2, 6, 7 kids. It's a defensive end. We're not defending very well. We're not rebounding very well. This is plenty enough points for us to score to win. We just can't give up 25 and a half.
Yeah, clearly they're attacking the inside with Morris and Dye. What type of adjustments, if any, are going to make on that side of the ball?
Well, I think it starts with guarding the basketball better. We missed some switches out top, and then that forced some help. And then when you're out of position, in the help position, it's hard to block out when the shot goes up. I thought they really hurt us on the boards. And Dye sat a lot with 2 fouls, so it's really big for us to block him out now that he's going to be back in the game.
Good luck in the second half, Coach.
Thank you.
Back to you, Chuck.
All right, Craig, thank you very much. Stick around, folks. You'll meet our Student Athletes of the Week, sponsored by Tony Letcher and Health Markets. Very entertaining first half. Deacon Hill and the Redhawks were sniping from the outside. Elkhart trying to work inside with Rodney Gates. Goshen up by 6 at the half on 46. Time now to meet our Student Athletes of the Week, brought to us by our friend Tony Letcher with Health Markets. And we have 2 terrific representatives of these academic institutions here tonight. Jacob Windy from Elkhart, Leish Detweiler from Goshen. We always start with the visitor first. Jacob, a 2-sport athlete at Elkhart High School, where he is the captain of both the basketball and the golf team, so highly regarded, but he's also getting the job done in the classroom with a 3.64 GPA. So how do you find the way to balance out the academics and the athletics?
The biggest thing is probably time management, you know, figuring out when I need to get stuff done, how I get it done, and that's probably the biggest part.
Your dad's been around the basketball program a long time here in Elkhart. What kind of influence has he been on you?
Just he's been the best. Good role model, just everything, you know, I need to look up to. He's making sure I'm staying ready, staying focused, and making sure I'm good and ready to go.
Now, Jake's involved in a lot of activities away from the classroom, too. Likes to do some fishing, some beach volleyball. But I also know that you've been very involved in your church for a long time. What is it that's important for you to engage in that?
I was brought up through my mom. My mom's always gone to church a lot, so she's brought me, and it's just something that I feel like I've been called to do. You know, a lot of people in my life have been there to help me out, and Sean Teese, Reese Gary, the Gary brothers especially, they've helped me out a lot too. They're big in the church, so I just like to engage in that however I can.
You've accepted an offer to play basketball at Bluffton University. What is it that appealed to you about that institution, and what do you hope to study at Bluffton?
Well, Bluffton, they gave me a shot. You know, I got my name out there, went to a few camps, but they really showed a lot of interest, and you know, that's somewhere I feel like I could play and be a good fit, and they feel like they'd be a good home for me. And
I'm sorry.
Sports management is probably what I'm going to do, but we'll see.
Very good. Well, best of luck to you in the future. Jacob Windy from Elkhart High School. Over here on this side, we have Leish Detweiler from Goshen High School. Leish, a member of the wrestling team. In fact, he was the MVP of the wrestling team last year. Now wrestling at 182 pounds. But you're also getting the job done in the classroom with a 3.6 plus GPA. So how do you balance the time commitment that it takes to be a wrestler with the time commitment it takes to be a great student?
I think it's just using my time wisely in and out of school, getting all my schoolwork done, and getting my grades up.
Wrestling is one of those sports, as we talked about before we went on camera. You have to love it, otherwise you wouldn't do it. What do you love about wrestling?
I just think it's being with my friends and my family, my coaches, and just spending time with them. I think that's the main thing that draws me to the sport.
To have the kind of work ethic that you must have for that sport, and also the work ethic you have in the classroom, somebody had to help instill those values in you. Who did that?
I'd have to thank my dad and my coaches for that, for always pushing me and keeping me in check.
When you're done here at Goshen High School at the end of this year, what do you hope happens in your life?
I'm undecided right now, but I'd like to go to college at some point.
Do you think you'll wrestle in college?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Well, best of luck to you. Keep up the great work both on the mat and in the classroom. That's Leish Detweiler of Goshen, Jake Windy of Elkhart, our Student Athletes of the Week, brought to us by our friend Tony Letcher at Health Markets. Now stick around. We have halftime highlights and stats of this one between Elkhart and Goshen coming up next on the 46 Game of the Week. Our St. Joe County Police Department halftime report continues with Goshen leading Elkhart 31-25 at the intermission. Welcome into the Martin Supermarket broadcast booth. Chuck Freeby and Bo Hunt high above the fray. A little bit of a surprising first half. Had a little more offense than we probably expected coming in.
Yeah, I mean, Elkhart had the turnovers that we kind of expected them to have, but they've been able to do the same thing to Goshen, have them turn the ball over a little bit, and their shooting's been a little bit better as well this game.
Let's show you how it got to be this way. Inside, and Tara Jim off the opening tip, Tamari Morris scored. Elkhart had an early lead. Gage Worthman got Goshen in front with 3 3-pointers in the first quarter, but Jacob Windy was able to dial it up once from beyond the arc. Leighton Weddle then started a block party at one end of the floor, thwarting an Elkhart scoring attempt, and it turned into points with Worthman, who was on fire in the first quarter. From Mickey Gilbert, the freshman had 5 points in the first half. Quinn Bechtel would get a steal and score here, but the Lions did a much better job handling the basketball than they've been. It took a good offensive effort from Leighton Weddle, who had 7 points in that first half, to keep Goshen up by 6. And as we look at the first half numbers, neither team setting the world on fire. Elkhart, I didn't think I'd say this tonight, actually staying in the game at the foul line.
Yeah, you look at the foul. I mean, they shot 14 tonight. That the free throw or the 3-point percentage with Goshen, 4 out of 10. That's where they've got this lead from the 3-point line. They hit the threes pretty well, shot over 40%. But the biggest thing I'm going to look at is Diane Morris for Elkhart. Both with 2 fouls. They're both big men. Elkhart's not very deep on the bench.
31-25, Hawks at the intermission. Second half play-by-play after this on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you by HealthLink, your community health center. Let's go down for a quick Bills Heating sideline report. Craig Heatherly talked to Kyle Sears at the break. What do you have to say?
Yeah, Coach Sears is pleased with where his team's at right now. The obvious thing is cutting down on the offense rebounds that they're giving up. He likes their defense until the shot goes up. And the factor right now is he's had a couple of his big guys in foul trouble. So if he can keep them out of foul trouble, he likes where his team's at right now.
That has been an adventure for Elkhart this year, trying to keep the big fellas out of foul trouble. We'll see how this unfolds in quarter number 3. Goshen starts the stanza with the basketball. Deacon Hill from the foul line is short, but got his own rebound and put it in.
Hey, you talked about that all night. Those free throw shots from them, they haven't been able to knock them down, but they've been able to get those second chance buckets.
Boy, second chance points. If we were keeping those tonight, the Red Hawks would have a huge lead in that category. Kamari Morris had a nice first half for Elkhart, but he needs some help. He tried to hit the cutting Jacob Windy. Now Marion Dye picks up some loose change and puts it in. 33-27. Red Hawks by 6. Hill over Dye, rattles out, but there's Eldridge for the putback. That's short. Out of the popcorn popper, it's Bechtel. Alford for 3, too strong, and finally Elkhart gets the rebound. Braden Becker to Mari Morris. Nice move by Morris, but he threw it to the referee.
Looked like he was trying to get a foul call on that, but I think that was just good defense and just lost the ball out of the hands.
Kyle Sears rubbing the face over there on the Elkhart bench over that one. Hill got his man in the air. Hill again from the foul line. Offline, Windy gets the ricochet. Elkhart trying to run a little bit, but good transition defense by the Red Hawks. Gates lobs it down for the big fella. Morris rolled it home.
Great job, Gates getting the ball inside to Morris, getting it in low and taking it up strong by Morris.
That's Tamari's 3rd game in double figures this season. He has 10. Deacon Hill guarded by Windy. Bechtel outside. He's been quiet offensively tonight. Worthman for 3. Yes, sir. His 4th three-pointer of the night. He had only hit 3 in the first 3 games. And Goshen opens it up to a 7-point lead. Morris again inside for 2. Elkhart is just wearing out that spot. You know, before the game, Michael Wolford said no layups. Well, Elkhart's had a ton of them tonight.
Yeah, Morris has just done a great job of finding that spot inside at the low post.
Hill takes it over Dye, couldn't score, out of bounds to Goshen.
Wouldn't it be great to work for a company where their employees are the most valuable asset? Well, now's your chance because RushCore is hiring. They have production positions available in a team-driven environment with excellent benefits that include medical, dental, and a 401k. To learn more about joining the RushCore family and a $1,000 sign-on bonus, visit rushcore.com. That's RESCHCOR.com.
Blocking foul called on Braden Beckers. You take a look at Quinn Bechtel coming back from a broken collarbone he suffered as the quarterback of the Redhawks football team. Very good three-sport athlete. Got all of that abilities from his mother. Inside, Deacon Hill. Outside, Worthman. No. Offensive foul called on Goshen. They'll call it on the big fella Eldridge, his third.
Wasn't watching what was happening inside. All I was seeing is outside and watching Worthman just catch that ball, turn, and have that nice fluent shot up there.
But in the meantime, Eldridge had set a moving screen, and Leighton Weddle comes in to take his place. Becker for three. That's short. But look at Dye battle for the rebound. Ooh, Windy wanted that fisherman shot, catch and release. Instead, he threw it away. Worthman lobs it for Weddle. He had a strong first half. Lost the ball inside. Scramble for the loose change comes to Hill. Alford for three. Too strong. Here's Windy. Windy trying to take Alford off the dribble. Bucket of the bump.
Nice take by Jacob Windy, taking it to the hole nice and strong. Getting the bucket and the bomb.
Watch it again on the R&B Car Company replay as Jacob Windy gets set to go to the foul line for free throw, sponsored by the Bristol Street Cafe. 60% free throw shooter on the year.
Here to protect and serve our community, St. Joe County Police Department is hiring immediately. Employment opportunities for high school graduates are available, and they offer a host of benefits and a true family environment on their team. Learn more at sjcindiana.com/employment.
Down to a 2-point game here inside Intera Gym on this evening of prime time basketball on 46. Weddle's shot hit the top of the backboard, and Elkhart with the chance to tie or take the lead here.
Just hanging around, playing good defense, getting some more turnovers. They're taking care of the ball a lot better here in the second half as well.
I think that's the biggest thing for this Elkhart team tonight. They found that you can get away without being the greatest shooting team in the world if you're not giving the other team transition baskets. Oh, Amarian Dye couldn't help himself. He had to take that three and missed it. Worthman the rebound. Goshen will live with that shot all night. Worthman put it on the ground and then ran over Amarian Dye.
Dye with a great job of setting his feet, taking that charge. Workman just needed to move his feet just a little bit more. He just sitting there. Lowered his shoulder right into him.
Timeout taken by Goshen. 3:29 to go in the third. Redhawks clinging to a 2-point lead on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you in part by TCU. Discover better banking at TCU. The Goshen fans all fired up for our TCU trivia question, but it has to do with Elkhart. Who are the only 1,000-point scorers at Elkhart High School? Not Memorial, not Central.
Elkhart.
Elkhart. We'll have the answer in a little bit.
I wonder if Chuck Freeby's on that list.
I was about 1,000 short of being on the list.
I don't recall seeing your name, so yeah.
Yeah. Nearly gave some other teams points with technical fouls, but that's another story. Down low, Marion Dye was fouled by Leighton Weddle.
Goshen getting in just a little bit of a foul trouble situation here. Worthman with 3 fouls, Eldridge with 3, and Weddle now picking up his second foul.
Dye going to the line, 54% free throw shooter on the year.
Tonight's health tip is brought to you by HealthLink. Quality health insurance is linked to a healthier life. If you or someone you know needs help navigating the world of health insurance, HealthLink can help. Navigators can assist with enrolling in Marketplace, medical, Medicaid, health coverage at no cost to you. HealthLink offers medical, dental, vision, and more, regardless of your ability to pay.
Dye missed them both, even though they were sponsored by the Bristol Street Cafe. It stays a 2-point game. Hill kicks it outside. There's Worthman. There's money. 15 for Gage Worthman tonight. 5 3-pointers.
Season high for Worthman. Season high was 11 against Fairfield in their opener.
And it's a 5-point Goshen lead. Morris, Hill tried to do some bad acting and didn't get the call. Dye left it off for Morris, but he's short on the shot and the rebound to Goshen. Hill from the foul line, found Weddle underneath, couldn't get it to go.
Rodney's going to pick up his first foul on the night. Just a great job on that pass, though, by Hill. Looked like he was, all night he's been catching at that elbow, was just shooting that shot. He turned, looked like he was going to shoot it and got it down to Weddle.
Weddle's free throw sponsored by Crystal Valley Comfort.
For the finest in casual dining, look no further than the Bristol Street Cafe, located at 500 West Bristol Street in Elkhart. Serving outstanding hearty breakfast and daily lunch specials until 2 p.m., the Bristol Street Cafe is a proud sponsor of all Elkhart High School athletics.
1 of 2 at the stripe for Weddle. He has 8 tonight. Elkhart, bit of a pressure point here with 2:17 to go in the third, down 6. Goshen on a bit of a 4-0 run here, but there's Morris underneath. Blocked by Hill. Gets it back, and a foul called. It's going to go against Nate Penarski. Gives us a chance to answer our trivia question. The only 1,000-point scorers at Elkhart High School, Garvin Robertson and Ray Ball. And, of course, a sad time in Elkhart with the passing of Garvin Robertson this week. A terrific, legendary athletic figure at Elkhart High School, the winner of the Bringle Award in 1970. Terrific 2-sport athlete, football and basketball. Still holds the Northside Gym record with 51 points in a game. Went on to a fine career at Illinois. And our condolences go out to Mayor Rod Robertson and his family on the passing of Garvin this week. Timeout called by Kyle Sears and Elkhart. We'll keep it here with 1:47 to go. And a reminder, we've got more high school basketball coming your way on Friday night. We'll dip into the girls' game. Marion, ranked number 4 in this week's Class 3A poll, has to go to the Palace, take on Christy Elrich and the Penn Lady Kingsmen. We'll have it for you on the live stream Friday night at 7:30 and on TV 46 Friday night at 11, Saturday morning at 9.
That's going to be such an interesting game on Friday night as well. Just 2 teams that have a lot of talent on their teams, and 2 teams in the Princess City that are going to look to battle each other for that trophy.
Of course, Marion with Nevaeh Foster, who's bound for Western Kentucky. And Penn, Jessa Troy's having a nice year. Only a sophomore, averaging 15 points a game. Should be a great atmosphere, as always, over at the Palace. Over and back, called on Elkhart.
One of those, when you throw the ball in right at that half-court point, go ahead and throw it in the backcourt because you're allowed to do that. Don't throw it right at that half-court point because you have the tendency to do that.
Goshen goes down low to Weddle. He missed the bunny. He'll try again, and it's short. Worthman says, let me clean it up.
Gage Worthman looking to talk to Craig Heatherly after the game with the performance that he's put on so far tonight.
17 points to lead all scorers. Gilbert falls down. Wendy comes over to bail him out. And an over-the-back foul on Leighton Weddle. That'll be his 3rd.
Worthman with 3, Weddle with 3, Eldridge with 3. We haven't seen Eldridge back in the game since he picked up his 3rd foul.
Goshen on a 6-0 run right now. Oh, they inbound, and it's stolen away by Worthman. Penarski leaves it off for Bechtel. Hill will fire again. He'll miss. And the rebound comes to Worthman. Not that time, he is human. And an over-the-back foul on Deacon Hill. The fouls starting to mount for Goshen as they did in the first half, but Elkhart has not been able to capitalize at the foul line in this half as they did in the first.
At Sanders and Pianowski, professional service to their clients is their first and compelling priority. The firm of Sanders and Pianowski want to take time to wish both teams well in tonight's game. Serving the Elkhart community for decades and decades yet to come, Sanders and Pianowski on the Riverwalk in downtown Elkhart.
Mickey Gilbert, the freshman, has acquitted himself well here tonight. He has 7 points. Trying to put some pressure on. Bechtel, a quick mid-range shot. That is probably the best part of his arsenal right there. Offensively, he has a very effective mid-range shot. And Gilbert travels.
Yeah, all the shots that Hill's been getting at that elbow when they're getting it in that zone, I'm surprised Bechtel's not the one that's getting in the middle and flashing to the middle every time, because that's his shot right there at the elbow.
Becker will check in for Windy to try to give Elkhart a little more defense here for the final 28 seconds of the third quarter. Michael Wolford calling out the half-court set. He wants Noah Alford to just stand there with the ball until Elkhart comes with pressure, and they did. See the clock, right-hand corner of the Intera Credit Union scoreboard. Worthman's pass batted in the air by Gates. Bechtel inside, the left-hand layup good! Quinn Bechtel with 8, and Goshen closes the quarter on a 10-2 run. It was keyed by good old number 24. Gage Worthman has been dialing long distance all night long, and the operator has made a connection. Goshen by 10 as we go to the fourth on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you by the electrical workers of Local 153. They've been making our communities brighter since 1914. Downstairs for a Bills Heating sideline report. Craig Heather, very disappointed you didn't take that half-court shot at the third quarter break. You let the young man do it and miss. What did you think of the first 3 quarters of this one?
Yeah, Goshen's winning this game, and Bo's talked about it a lot. In this area right here on the high post. Elkhart's top 2 guards in their defense, they're just not getting in and out of the zone as quickly as they were in the first half. They've got to increase their effort, their energy, and these guys don't realize that just like block shots, they can get block shots, it's just through deflections on the ball. So if they're a little bit more active, they take care of that high post area, Elkhart's going to have a shot down the stretch.
Tell Coach Heatherly getting in the game there, walking all over that court during that sideline report. Last time he was out on the court that much, he got teed up. So Maury Morris and Elkhart trying to solve a 10-point deficit as they start the fourth.
I think Elkhart's going to have to definitely go to the three-point line as well tonight, and then have to hit a few threes here down the stretch.
Morris tried an acrobatic shot. Dye will just shove the rebound home. Those big fellas down on the block are a problem.
Yeah, and you know, with Morris and Dye sat a little bit of that first half. I think that's the biggest thing you look at is, can they stay in the game?
They have here in the third quarter. Eldridge is back in, and he's in double figures now with 10. And the lead is 10. You say Elkhart's got to shoot 3-pointers. They've really only got one guy that does that, though, effectively, and that's Windy. We saw Mickey Gilbert hit one tonight, too. Morris follows his own shot, and it goes out of bounds to Elkhart. The fourth quarter being brought to us by our friends at Goshen Home Medical.
Finally, an IT company that not only supports stellar technical support, but also partners with the clients and help them use technology to move forward. Learn more from 574it.com. That's 574IT. Windy
guarded well by Bechtel. Windy goes around him with the left hand. and drives it in for 2 more. He has 8. That's his average. But Elkhart needs to play above its average tonight to get out of here with a win. Hill has had a cold shooting night, and that continues. And then Eldridge goes over the back for his 4th foul. And Elkhart will go to the line, shooting free throws sponsored by the Bristol Street Cafe.
Elkhart going to be at 1-1 here in the rest of the way out. Again, we talked earlier, they got to the free throw line that first half. And if they can get to the free throw line this second half like they did the first half and knock them down, they can win this game from the free throw line.
Well, Dye tonight is just 1 of 4 from the stripe.
They need to get some of that Bristol Street Cafe in them.
Make it 1 of 5. 6'3" sophomore having a very difficult night from the charity line. Hill going inside, now has to kick it out. Worthman couldn't get that one to go, and Dye gets another rebound. Elkhart staying within striking distance here. Can they hit a couple shots to get them over the top? Wendy lost the handle, but Becker will retrieve it. Gilbert, can the freshman come up with something key here? Elkhart trying to get people loose. And a timeout called by Kyle Sears will take it as well. 5:23 to go in regulation. Elkhart trying to climb out of an 8-point hole on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you in part by the Indiana High School Athletic Association, partnering with TV 46 for over 30 years. The Goshen Redhawks trying to make it back-to-back wins over Elkhart. That has not happened since 1967-1968. Now remember, there is a gap from 72 to 2020 where there was not an Elkhart high school. But still, over the years in this rivalry, Elkhart has been the dominant team. They're the bigger school they should be.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things when you look at that. They were the bigger school, and they've always been more of that dominant team. But Elkhart's just had a little bit more ferocity in them this last couple of years, I think. And I think Coach Wolford's really instilled that in them and in this team as well. And you talk about not one player averaging in double digits, it's because they're such a team player.
But tonight they have double digits from Gage Worthman, 17 points, and Ryan Eldridge, 10. And that's been the difference for Goshen, up by 8. Jacob Wendy had it taken away by Quinn Bechtel, and he has double figures with 10.
Bechtel with, I believe, 6 of his points on breakaways, defensive steals, where he's got 6 of his 10 points tonight.
Michael Wolford says he is the best defensive player that Goshen has had in his 15 years of being associated with the Redhawks. Travel is called on Gage Worthman, and Elkhart will get the ball back. But watch this beautiful defensive play by Beck.
Yeah, you can see just a great job of getting his hands up, staying with it, staying strong, understanding where that ball is and where the defender was when he was taking it to the hoop as well.
Gates triggers the inbound, but Alford comes up with the steal. Worthman, what a pass to Hill! Oh, that is money! Hang a star on that one. Morris inside is fouled by Deacon Hill. But folks, one of the best passes we'll have all year here on 46, courtesy of the R&B Car Company replay.
2 things on this. One is when you make that pass, you pray and hope that he makes that and you get the assist on that. And 2, we haven't had an electrifying play yet today. What a great job, a great pass on that.
Meanwhile, Tamari Morris taking free throws, sponsored by the Bristol Street Cafe, misses the first as you see Nikki Gilbert check back in for Elkhart.
Quality Drive Away has been serving your transportation needs since 1987. Now hiring CDL and non-CDL drivers. Visit qualitydriveaway.com.
Morris now with 13 points to lead the Lions, but they're down 11 with 4.5 left. Jim still buzzing a little bit over that behind the back pass by Worthman. Bechtel finds Weddle. Sure, feed the kid. Nah, not that time. And then over the back is called on Weddle. And Michael Wolford really close to 4 o'clock in tea time.
Hill with 4 fouls, Weddle with 4, Eldridge with 4, Workman with 3. If Elkhart can get this down, dwindle this lead down a little bit, that's going to put some pressure on this Goshen team.
But to do it, they have to take advantage of these opportunities when the clock is stopped and nobody is guarding you and you have a free throw. And Marion Dye has not been good from the line tonight. And misses again. 52-41 Goshen. Quinn Bechtel holding it outside. Rodney Gates will come greet him. Penarski goes right around Mickey Gilbert.
Elkhart going man-to-man now, trying to put a little bit of pressure.
Worthman got open but decided not to take the 3 that time. Goshen looks like they want to just work it until they can get a layup. Big fella Eldridge working down low over Dye. Not that time, and the rebound to Marion Dye. Now Elkhart has to try to find shooters. And Morris lost it all out of bounds, but it was knocked away by Worthman.
Join Goshen Home Medical's open house happening December 7th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Food, refreshments, and fun. That's Goshen Home Medical.
Rodney Gates on the outside. Dye tried to go to Morris. Penarski knocked it away. Good ball movement by Elkhart. They find Morris down low for 2 more. He's got 15. He had 17 against Chesterton this year. Elkhart's got it down to single digits, but time becoming a factor as well. Eldridge down the lane, got 2.
Great cut by Eldridge, great feed, and great body control as he was going up for that bucket.
He is such an agile big man. You look at his size and you wouldn't think that he's that quick on his feet, but he is. Dye had it stripped away by Penarski. Redhawks have numbers. Littleman for 2.
Great time for Nathan's first basket of the night.
Nate Penarski lighting up this crowd. Elkhart takes a timeout, and we'll keep it here with 2:16 to go.
Hey, wouldn't it be great to work for a company where their employees are the most valuable asset? Well, now's your chance because Rushcore is hiring. They have production positions available in a team-driven environment with excellent benefits that include medical, dental, 401k. And to learn more about joining the Rushcore family and that big $1,000 sign-on bonus, visit rushcore.com. That's RESCHCOR.com.
Saturday is college basketball on Pulse FM on 103.1. The undefeated Purdue Boilermakers go on the road to Lincoln to take on the Nebraska Cornhuskers. That's the afternoon till the 2:15. And then what a clash in the evening. Prime time, Arizona, Indiana, 2 of the marquee names of college basketball. And you'll hear it at 7:30 on your home for Big Ten basketball in Michiana, 103.1 FM.
That ought to be a great game in Indiana. Indiana with a big victory and then kind of a letdown their next game.
I want to go downstairs to Craig Heatherly for a Bills Heating sideline report. Craig, one thing we haven't had a chance to talk with you tonight is the balance on this Goshen team. We started the evening talking about their depth and their chemistry, but what's impressed you about this group as a team?
Yeah, it's clearly the defensive end of the ball. As the game has worn on, they've created more opportunities, more deflections, more steals, and it's just led out to opportunities on offense for everybody on the team.
Morris down low, can't hit, and the rebound to Eldridge. And Elkhart, on the other hand, has become very one-dimensional with that offense. They just have nobody outside shooting right now. And when you get in a hole like this, it's tough to dig out of it without benefit of the three ball. Goshen will take a timeout with 100 seconds left.
I think one of the big things you talk about with that is Elkhart's not even looking for that three-point shot, really. They're really just looking to get it inside and feed it underneath and get that basket underneath. And if not, they're Windy and Rogers. They're looking to just drive to the bucket, Gates as well, rather than look for that three-point shot. I mean, you're down 13 at this time. You're going to need some three-pointers to get back because you're not doing it at the free throw line at this point.
And while Goshen has had plenty to cheer about tonight, been a tough start for Elkhart. 5 games on the road, and look at the strength of the schedule that they've played. Those 5 opponents started the night with a record of 14-3.
Yeah, and you can add tonight 2-1 for Goshen as well, so you look at 16-4, you know, opponents that they're playing at this point.
Chesterton, Northridge, South Bend, Washington, their first 3 opponents, all ranked, all unbeaten. Then they go to John Glenn, where Bryson Hanna had himself a week. And they come here to Goshen. They're going to be happy to get to Northside Gym on Friday night. Adams comes to call him, but I don't think Kyle Sears is going to care. They're going to need a roadmap just to find Northside.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things. Like, we need to go home to Mama. We need to go home to our home court, get home, get some comfort, find the relaxation in your home court, and get a little bit comfortable there.
So a 13-point lead for the Red Hawks with 1:40 remaining. Deacon Hill on the outside. Quinn Bechtel has had a fine game both offensively and defensively. Mickey Gilbert with the foul. That's only the 4th on Elkhart. So they can afford to be aggressive here if they wish to. Down 13, the thought of trying to foul many times to get back into it. You might question that thought.
Not sure if their intent is to actually foul them, but just be aggressive like they are right here. And if a foul happens, a foul happens.
Windy knocks a pass out of bounds right there.
The Imagineering Finishing Technologies brand is a globally known as the knowledge source for metal finishing. Like the teams in this game, Imagineering is always working toward a great finish. IFT is proud to support all student athletes.
Windy with a steal for Elkhart. Gilbert ahead of the pack for 3. Got it. Mickey Gilbert with 10 in just his 2nd varsity game. There's a bright spot for Elkhart. And Gilbert almost had a steal. Worthman and Windy get tied up. Alternating possession goes to Goshen. Hill looking to trigger the inbound. Eldridge makes a difficult catch. Maybe Tom Morganman's got to think about a tackle eligible next year. Bechtel kicks it outside to Alford. He got stripped of the ball. But good defense by Bechtel, and a timeout called by Elkhart as they maintain possession with 43.3 seconds left.
I think that's one thing about Kyle Sears and this Elkhart team is what I've seen out of them is just the fight that they have, the grit that they have, the determination they have to get better. There's no giving up in this team. They're really fighting out there in battle and getting better as the game goes on.
This is one of those stats that is a little bit nebulous because you have to look at maybe who played who. But so far, the NLC 4-2, and this is going to make it 5-2 against the NIC this season. I don't know. If you look at the top teams in the NIC, Penn's number 3 in 4A, Marion's number 1 in 3A. If you look at the top teams in the NLC, Northwood is what, number 5 right now in the 3A poll?
Yep.
Warsaw's going to be up there. Northridge is up
Northridge.
there. Pretty comparable, I think.
I think the top are pretty comparable. The middle are decent. I think the lower ends are not comparable at all. I think the NLC's got a little bit more.
The NLC has better teams at the bottom than the bottom of the NIC.
Yeah.
But I also, Ryan Varg, I didn't forget about you at Washington.
Oh,
You're
no.
4-0 and ranked number 6.
Yeah.
And that's a pretty solid.
Yep.
If that's the number 3 team, Varga might say, hey, we're 2-1 in the NIC.
Yeah, we'll get to see them later in the season as
We
well.
sure will. We'll see them on December 16th down at the Airy facing John Glenn. Alford, as Goshen tries to kill the final 25 seconds of this one. No sense fouling at this point if you're Elkhart because you can't get them to the line. You're, as Bo mentioned, trying to be aggressive, go for steals. Wendy called for a foul here with 11 seconds left. So Goshen about to go to 3-1, Elkhart to 0-5. And as we noted just a couple of moments ago, Goshen will have back-to-back wins over Elkhart for the first time since the end of the 67 season and the 68 regular season. Here's another foul called on Elkhart. That's only their 6th as a team, though.
But again, when you talk about this Elkhart team moving to 0-5 now in the season, there's nothing to be ashamed about with that. 0-5 start. Sure, you'd like to be 5-0 or 500. But this is a team that's got some talent, got some things to work with, and they stay with it. We saw Deacon tonight, or Gilbert tonight, just have a great game as well, come out for his first time.
Good ball game tonight here at Intera Gym, and it goes to the Goshen Redhawks by a final score of 56-46. Stick around. We've got a lot to talk about on the St. Joe County Police Department postgame show, including our player of the game and our electrifying play of the game. And it comes your way next on the 46 Game of the Week.
Thanks for watching the WHME TV 46 High School Basketball Game of the Week, brought to you by
The Goshen Redhawks go to 3-1 on the season with a 56-46 triumph over Elkhart tonight here inside Intera Gym. Welcome inside the Martin Supermarket broadcast booth. Chuck and Bo high above the fray. Really like what I saw from this Goshen team tonight. Good balance, pretty good defense. Michael Wolford will want better from his team as they go along, but really, they've got a little bit of everything to give teams trouble.
Yeah, I think they're still working through a few things of some positioning with players with their offense. They have it from the outside. They have guys that are willing to shoot, want to shoot the ball, and have the confidence. And they have the size inside. They have some guys with the physical build, there's guys with the height as well, and they got some good touch inside.
And if you can get somebody hot from three-point range, that never hurts. The guy that was on fire with the 3 tonight was Gage Worthman. He's our player of the game, standing by now with Craig Heatherly.
All right, I'm here with the player of the game, Gage. Gage, you shot it well from 3. You got some stuff done around the basket. You look confident out there. Where does that come from?
Just practicing and a lot of shooting reps during practice. That's where the confidence came from.
You guys play a lot of upperclassmen. You guys are really connected out there. What does that do for a game like this?
Well, chemistry is a big part of basketball, and just having experience makes us able to handle the pressure and come out with wins like this.
Yeah, not very many opportunities. You get to play on a team, playing a game like this. What's so special about this team?
Just the brotherhood that we have on the court and off the court. We're always hanging out and having a good time with each other, and I think that's a huge part.
Awesome. Well, you go have some good times in the locker room. Congratulations, the player of the game, Gage. Back to you, Chuck.
All right, thank you, Craig. And Gage Worthman, also a big part of our electrical workers, Local 153, electrifying play of the game tonight. This one wasn't, though, because of his shooting. It was because of his passing.
Well, I think it might be one of the first time we've had a pass as an electrifying player of the game, but here you can see a great job behind the back, great feed to Deacon Hill, and the big finish, the important finish, because that play doesn't happen as an assist if that play doesn't get knocked down by Hill.
It's not electrifying if it doesn't get knocked down by Hill. We might have gone with one of those three-pointers from Worthman tonight, but 17 points, some good assists, good defense all around. Nice win for Michael Wolford's Redhawks, who face South Bend St. Joe. They got to figure out a way to stop Chase Konechny on Saturday afternoon. Meanwhile, Elkhart finally gets the home opener Friday night when the Adams Eagles roll in the Northside Gym. So our thanks to our TV46 crew for bringing you this one, led by our production manager, Dean Korsmo. That wasn't him bursting through the gates, was it? And the rest of our talented TV46 crew who helped bring you this one. A reminder, Friday night, there's more high school basketball on TV46. We'll go into the girls' action with the 5th-ranked Marion Knights visiting the Palace to take on Christy Ulrich's Penn Lady Kingsmen. We'll have the live stream for you on Facebook, YouTube, the Champions Network right around 7:30, and show it to you on TV46 Friday night 11 and Saturday morning at 9. Don't forget to follow us on social media at Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Now, for my broadcast partners, the Hall of Famer Bo Hunt and Craig Heatherly, it's Chuck Freeby. Once again, the final, Goshen 56, Elkhart 46. So long from the Maple City.